You're listening to the Meet the Farmers podcast with me, your host, Ben Eagle. Please remember to subscribe to the show wherever you are listening. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 305 of Meet the Farmers. I'm your host, Ben Eagle, and today we are heading over the pond. We're heading to the States, to Indiana, to be precise. I think it's the first time that we featured any farmer from Indiana on the show, and we are meeting Shane and Val Wallis. The Wallis family farm corn and beans. They also cut some hay, and they keep Shorthorn cattle. And I'm really looking forward to hearing a little bit more about their ventures and some of their farming journey. Shane and Val, welcome to Meet the Farmers. Good to have you on.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start with the farm itself. Can you give us an overview of the operation, what you've got going on?
So this place where we're at was my grandparents, and then they got old enough they decided to move to town, and I decided I was going to try to take it over. So here we are, trying this ordeal.
So your grandparents bought the place?
Yeah, they lived here for 48 years before they moved to town. So then it was none of the kids wanted it, so here I am.
Do you know what it was like when they took it on?
So Grandpa originally, when he took it on, had 100 acres here. And he raised Angus cows. It was a sharecrop farm, actually, so he never owned it for the first 25 or 30 years. Deal was he had to raise cows, and the old lady that owned it, they split everything, so deal was he got to live here if he farmed it. There was no cows here by the time I took it on. Grandpa sold out when I think I was 2 years old when Grandpa sold out of the cows. So we built all the fence back up, put the pastures back in, and started buying cows.
And Val, you've married into the family. So what's it like from your perspective?
Well, my family only farmed crops. We didn't have livestock at all. So when I first started dating Shane, he immediately took me to like the farm and the pastures, and we met the cows. And that was practically our first date, was mowing hay together. And I had never done that. We only did corn and beans myself on our farm, my family's farm, and that was over in Ohio. So the whole cow journey has been different from the get-go, but I love it now. It's pretty much grounding us right now with these cows, and that's our lifestyle.
Yeah. So if you're from Ohio, how did you meet?
I'm actually from Ohio.
Ah, okay.
My family lived in Ohio. My grandparents lived over in Indiana. So we're only 3 miles from the Ohio-Indiana state line.
My family still farms in Ohio.
So for anyone who doesn't know, I know Ohio more than I know Indiana, but in terms of the farming landscape, what's going on around you, just paint us a little bit of a picture of what it looks like, what the kind of farming that goes on in your part of the world.
So our area is flat. Most people are flat, except for where we're at over here in Adams County, Indiana. We are the rolliest part of the county, actually. So one of my fields has got 30 feet of fall from one end to the other. Most people you can see 5 miles.
And in terms of cropping, it's mostly corn and soybeans?
Yeah. So livestock's not real popular in our area because the cropping actually pays better, and it's better ground for that than it is for livestock.
We're actually one of the biggest beef cow farms in our area that do this sort of thing, the cow calf operation. When you drive down the road, you can see for miles, and most of that is corn and beans and fields, open fields to farm crops, but you don't really see a whole lot of livestock around here.
So obviously crops was the background. So I'm interested in why the cattle and why Shorthorns. Where did that influence come in, and why did you want them?
So the cattle actually started with 4-H. I started showing back when I think 8 years old showing. We showed sheep originally. My parents grew up with sheep, and they were a dumb animal when out of sheep. So I started in on cows, and then I picked one that not everybody had, so it started me on Shorthorns. And ever since then, I've liked the Shorthorn breed, so I've just taken off with it. My personal preference, I just always liked it because when the calves are born, you never know what they're going to look like until the day they hit the ground. No matter what the bull looks like or the cow looks like, it's always a surprise. But they're bigger frame than the Angus breed or whatever. They're more docile and they're more hair. So we show most of ours or sell them for show. So the hair is the big thing for us.
And you show a lot of your farming journey and what's going on the place through socials. How did that start, and how does that sort of go for you?
Well, for me, I love, like, showing pictures and, fun videos and stuff, so I started doing it just for fun on my own, like, personal page, and then I thought, "Well, we've got this one special cow that deserves her own highlighted page." So we actually started Wallace Farm as Esther the cow, who is
Really?
our pet cow, and, like, then I thought, "Well, we do a lot of more on our farm that I wanna share everything." So I switched it to be Wallace Farm and not just about Esther. And that it really took off when I started sharing, like, our personal stories, our funny moments on the farm, like, just real life situations that we go through daily. I just wanted to share those and create some humor along the way with farm situations that people might not understand. So I'm trying to bring humor to it, cuteness to it with the Esther still on there. So just having fun with it. And now we're we, now we're just doing it daily and whatever comes our way.
Yeah. Do you find you get lots of questions from people?
We do. We get, just like, "How do you farm?" A lot of different areas around the world, they don't farm corn and beans, so, different farmers will ask us how we farm differently. We get a lot of questions from vegans about how we raise our cattle too.
Right.
I like to post on our socials that we treat our cows very well. They live happy lifestyles until their butcher date. Like, and a lot of vegans will actually, come at us a little bit, but we've actually had a lot of good conversations with people just wanting to know, okay, like, how do you raise your cattle? Are they free roaming in a pasture? Do they get treats? Are they happy until their butcher day? And yes, we give them happy lifestyles until, they're gonna help us feed our family and friends by going into the freezer. That's just the way it is. And we've had some really good conversations with vegans that are starting to understand that, and they're liking the way that we are doing this with the cows instead of how maybe a factory farm is doing this with their cows.
That's really interesting. So actually, your experience with engaging with vegans on social media hasn't necessarily been a bad one. It's actually been some good conversation.
Yes. Yes.
Let's zoom out a bit in terms of what the situation is like right now for farmers in the US from where you're standing, from your point of view, and you have a very specific system to your farm. But what is it? You obviously speak with other farmers, not just in the US. You speak with farmers all over the place as well. But where do you see sort of US agriculture and the way that farmers are feeling at the moment in the States?
So right now, it's not great right now due to all the stuff, the tariffs and everything. Our prices are down pretty low compared to normal. Beef prices are up, so the beef's sitting pretty good due to all the droughts and all that out west. We can't recover, so our cow numbers are basically back to the same as they were in the 50s. So we're low on beef cows. It's going to take several years. But as far as the grain markets, we're sitting about where we were 5 or 6 years ago. We've dropped pretty hard. So things are a little shaky. Guys are tightening up the reins on spending and all that a little bit.
Yeah.
The farmers are all kind of what we call coupon shopping right now. You're calling around and getting better prices just because it is tight now.
And bringing it back to you, how as a farm and as a family, how are you managing those pressures? Whether that's prices, inputs, whether what you can control.
You just got to think ahead on where we spend the money instead of just running out and replacing things now. It's tightened up a little bit, so we're going to ride out what we got for now, and then we're the small guys in the area, so trying to expand is a little bit of a challenge, and I would love to, but I can't afford it, so we're just riding it out.
One thing that I love about Shane is that he is my handyman and he can fix anything. So a good way for us to budget our money is that Shane fixes everything himself and he doesn't have to take his machinery to a dealer to have them fix it. If anything breaks down, we have a reliable guy here that can really save some money because he can do it himself.
Yeah. And that's a big thing, right? I don't know how remote you guys are, where you are to local community. Is there how much of a community is there?
It's about 2 miles, 3 miles to the town. We're not
And
that far.
I'd say our town is about 25,000 people.
Okay.
In Decatur, Indiana, it might be 30,000. I'm not totally sure, but we live, about 3 miles outside of town. We're still in the country, but we're close enough to the town that we can get there fast if we need to.
Does that create a market opportunity for you as well, being closer to the town?
It could, but really, ultimately, her social pages has created most of it as far as beef sales and that.
I would love to be able to sell our beef, by the pound. Like, right now, we only sell our beef by the cow. So, like, if you take your cow to the butcher, we can sell it by the quarter, the half, the whole cow, and then people will pay for the processing at the butcher. But I would love to set up a market where we could sell our beef straight to the consumer. You can come to our farm because we're 2 miles out of town, get your steak, your ground beef, everything right there in a freezer. But we don't have that licensing yet to do that. So maybe that's something in the future that we can look into.
I was going to say, is that part of the dream, part of the plan?
That's part of the plan,
Yeah.
just to give us a little bit better option on what we're doing with it all.
Mhm.
So, I mean, on that basis, looking ahead, looking forward, where would you like to be in a few years' time? Are you sort of planning it? Yeah, so obviously you're going to be engaging with more people, try and broaden your market. Is there anything that would sort of help you move to a next stage?
Well, seeing that we can't really buy more acreage now to farm more, we are looking at ways to expand the beef, business here. So, maybe that's investing in more cows and cow-calf operations, and then selling our beef through the market. So, actually, like, we just last night were talking about going out to Colorado and learning how to AI.
Okay.
And, yeah, so we usually breed our cows with a bull, but this bull has been kinda pesky and tearing down fences and everything, and we just wanna see if maybe the AI route is better for our operation. And so then maybe we can create more cows, more beef, all that in good time, but yeah, we that's something we actually talked about last night doing.
And you said that there's not many cattle operators in your part of the world. Where would the nearest be?
You gotta go out west for the bigger cattle operations, or southern Ohio. You get down to like the rolling ground in Missouri or southern Ohio, down where the strip mines and that all used to be. So you can't farm it. So them guys all that seems to be where the cows all are. So it's 5, 6 hours from here where the bigger operations are.
Does that cause a problem in terms of sort of en route abattoirs and that kind of thing?
Maybe a little bit. The hardest part around here is everybody wants the ground to farm to raise the corn or the beans because there's more money in that than there is cows. So it does kind of limit us around here a little bit.
And because it's so flat in northern Indiana and northern Ohio, you get down to the southern parts of those states, and it's more rolly and hilly, and it's got a little bit of some different acreage. But up here, it's so flat that it's better for farming crops.
What would you say is your biggest challenge and your biggest opportunity moving ahead?
Biggest challenge is probably going to be growing the farm actually, just with current prices and everything. Trying to get it to grow is going to be the biggest challenge. Opportunities, though, right now with the beef prices the way they are and being on the shortage that the United States is, I think the beef end of things might be where we're able to get the money to expand the operation and keep it self-sustained. Trying to open a market up here at home for the consumers to be able to just come to us was be the biggest opportunity probably. And then we got a little one that, you've heard in the background that hopefully someday he can take over and run with it. So
That was another thing, was that we didn't know where this farm was gonna head because we were told 8 years ago we couldn't have kids, and so it was just going to be us, and now we have this little guy.
can you say hi?
He's our miracle baby. You say hi?
Hi.
Yeah, so, yeah, everything we're doing now is for him. So, the future, we're looking at his future too, so, yeah, this is Grady. Yeah.
Oh, bye, Grady. So
Yeah.
if we start to round it up, I always finish the show with the same two questions. The first is a message for the public. It could be the US public, could be further afield. And the second is a message to your fellow farmers. So if you had a message to the public, what message would you want to give? Maybe you can both give a message on this.
To the public would be not everything we're doing is bad. We're not trying to create evils here or whatever because spraying's bad. They all think a lot of them think spraying things are bad. They think the way we raise cows is bad. We got more mindset on preventing any of that and doing good to the land or the cows than anybody believes.
Mhm.
They are our priority, so we're taking care of them to the best we can.
That's why I always tell the public too. I was like, just come out and spend a day with us. Like, watch what we do and watch how we raise the cows, meet the cows. Like, they're happy. They're out bathing, sunbathing. They're getting treats. We're not like keeping them shut up in a barn all close together. Like, just come out and hang out with us and watch what we do. Learn. We could teach you some things and break down some of those rumors. But I would also tell the public that, like, time is valued for sure. Like, farming takes a lot of time, and the farmers are away during those hard seasons of harvesting and planting. They are gone, from sunrise to sunset all day. But when you do have those moments where you can spend time with your family, just cherish it. That might be in a tractor while you're planting a field, but, like, take that time and, because you never know what the next day is gonna hold for you. So, this life isn't forever. So, yes, we work hard as farmers, but we also gotta, find the time to spend as family and cherish those moments together.
Hmm. Just before we move on to the message to farmers, I just wonder if we could reflect a bit on why you think that if there is a disconnect between the public and farmers, why do you think that's been happening, and what do you think could be done? Obviously, social media is going to play a part, but what do you think could be done to make that better?
I wish that everybody could, before they jump on social media and start commenting, I wish they would watch people's other videos too. Because a lot of people will come to our page and jump down our throats because we do eat meat. Yes, we raise cattle and we eat the meat from the cattle that we're raising. That's just our lifestyle. And a lot of people will jump on and immediately start attacking us, but they haven't really taken a moment to look at our page or how we treat the cattle. So I would love for people to just, before you just jump out and attack somebody for something that you think because, the social media world is telling you something, just take a moment and get to know the page that you're looking at and watch their other videos and watch and learn what they're doing. And this is their lifestyle. Like, why you shouldn't be attacking somebody's lifestyle. Like, that's how they grew up. And yes, you can have a conversation, ask them questions. Don't immediately just start bashing them for what they do to make a living. So just learn from them, ask them questions, have a conversation.
And finally, your message to your fellow farmers all over the world.
If you got the dream or the want to, it'll work out. You just got to keep trying. Don't give up.
And thank you so much for everything that you do. A lot of hours, a lot of hard labor. We appreciate what you guys are doing. We're here for you. We see you.
Shane, Val, thank you so much for coming on the show, giving us a little bit of a snapshot into your life over there in Indiana. And I wish you the best of luck, especially with the cattle operation and maybe some direct selling in future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. That's it for today. A huge thank you to my guests, Shane and Val Wallis, for coming on the show. Thank you also for listening or watching if you are. If you don't already, please subscribe to the show wherever you're listening. We have a different farmer or farmers every week. So hit that subscribe button. Next time, we will be back in the UK. We'll be in Cornwall, and I'll be speaking to sheep and beef farmer James Warwick. But for now, I'm Ben Eagle. This has been Meet the Farmers, and thank you very much for listening.